Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Angel Baby Kyra. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. So today we're back with another video, and this video I will preface by saying that if you leave any kind of hateful comments, specifically transphobic comments, or you're just being plain out rude, you're gonna get blocked and you're gonna get reported. And if you can't tell by the title of this video, we're gonna be talking about Dylan Mulvaney, the Days of Girlhood, and the whole, of course, discourse that has been going on social media, primarily TikTok. I've seen so many TikToks of women doing that kind of trend, like things I'm not afraid to admit as a woman. And then the next slide is that Dylan Mulvaney, insert transphobic opinion here. Okay, so I wasn't gonna make this video because I already talked about it on TikTok, but I figured I'd make it anyway, and I felt compelled to make it because I saw this post by Polyester Design, and I feel like they have a lot of good points that I didn't even realize. So if you don't know Polyester Design, they're like this, I think they're UK based kind of pop culture web based magazine, and my goal is to write for them one day once I have like my thoughts together and what I would want to write for them for. Because if you don't know, I really love writing. It was one of my favorite subjects in school. I took AP English and IB English. I loved literature, and it's something that I love doing besides obviously music and fashion, and I don't think a lot of people know that about me. Speaking of, follow my Substack. It's linked. I only have one article up right now, and I've just been trying to get adjusted to everything. I've been so busy. My first thing was so rushed. There's probably grammatical errors in there, whatever. Don't roast me, don't come for me, don't drag me, but I understand there's grammatical. But I haven't written for a while, so the only way to improve is by keep doing it. Okay. So there's they compiled like some tweets on their Instagram, and they also did kind of like a little poll on their Instagram. I don't know if it's up anymore, about like what girlhood is. It says, every time I hear someone being transphobic to Dylan Mulvaney over a song, it starts to sound more and more like the song of the summer. And if you want to listen to I think it's their podcast, it's also on their website. I'll link it below, but you can listen to the whole thing and read the full article. You might need to buy a subscription, I'm not really sure. Yeah, so let's get into this. Dylan Mulvaney will never drive to a gas station, wonder if it's safe to get out of the car. Like, what the actual are you talking about? She is a trans woman, and she's an ongoing target of conservative harassment. This is like, I guess, responding to, I used to take a 15-hour road trip by myself with Zoe every summer to see my parents, and I have never in my life been as nervous as our first time driving through rural Montana this summer after higher transition. It says Dylan Mulvaney will never drive to a gas station and wonder if it's safe to get out of the car. Another point that I want to bring up, and this is what a lot of people have been saying on TikTok too, myself included, is that one, Dylan Mulvaney didn't say this was like what every girl experiences, obviously. And to be honest, before this whole thing broke out with her song, I didn't really know who Dylan Mulvaney was. I just knew that they like were a TikTok person, and they'd always get a lot of hate. I heard something about tampons, and I heard things like that, and Dylan Mulvaney would always be brought up, but I never like looked into who were until they dropped this song, which is not my favorite. It's very like trashy pop, but we'll get into it later. But that was kind of the point of the song for Dylan, and I feel like we see that a lot in pop stars. But so this post says, not gonna lie, I thought we were all being ironic in our satirization of hyperfemininity, but recently realized a lot of you do actually live in the third person and perform yourself for the watcher's gaze. My ballet flats on, tie endless ribbons in my hair, and this goes into the whole I'm just a girl dinner, girl math, and quite a digression for women to just be put simply as, oh, I'm doing girl, oh, I'm just a girl, like, don't blame me, I'm just a girl, oh, I'm so ditzy, like, I'm a bimbo. Like, it's this whole satire, or at least I thought it was satire, but people are actually playing into it. I've never played into the trend because it just felt really weird to me, even though if it was satire, like, I get the satirical part, but like, people actually took it to that level. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, people actually think like, oh, teehee, I'm just a girl. Like, no, you're grown, you're 30, you're not just being a girl. And in that in itself just like puts men and femmes into a box of being ditzy and being a bimbo, not being able to do math, not being able to provide for themselves. But then how are you gonna get mad when people are like, well, how are you saying that? And we have this whole like TERF debate. There's another video about like Nora Smith and all the TERFs. I don't think Nora Smith is a TERF, honestly. I think she just makes cooking videos and looks good while she does her cooking videos. I just think that if you're one of the people that ever took part of this trend of like, I'm just a girl dinner, girl math, you should not be talking about what girlhood is and getting mad about Dylan Mulvaney's said experience of what they experienced transitioning. You know, like, it's not your place. Dylan Mulvaney is a revolutionary for being the first openly transgender woman to make really bad pop music, which I feel like, again, Dylan says on her TikTok, and she explains it, and I'll insert it here, that it was made to be satirical, it was made to be funny, it was made to be bad.
Hi, this is Dylan Mulvaney, the artist behind the song Days of Girlhood, which is currently going viral on this app for most of the wrong reasons. And I usually feel like art should speak for itself, if you can even call this song art, but I do think you deserve some context on this one. And I'll also say the fact that both conservatives and liberals would probably agree that this is potentially the most annoying song in the history of ever was no small task. Now, here are the facts. Number 1, was not trying to change the world with this one. Number 2, my comps for the song were Rebecca Black's Friday and Perfect Day from Legally Blonde, because I really wanted it to feel like the opening of like an early 2000s rom-com, because I never saw myself like existing in that world when I was growing up. And number 3, was not trying to like make a substantial music career. This was like a fun project to sort of celebrate the early days of transition and the joy that I found, because so much of my series and my personhood got used against me by really extremist conservative media, and I wanted to find a way to like find the fun and the joy of those initial moments that I had in my transition. And I think so many of the people that follow me on this app over the past 2 years have seen me grow and evolve so much to know that I don't think that womanhood or girlhood is chalked up to be these like silly, frivolous things. And if you broke up the lyrics like a Shakespeare monologue, like Monday can't get out of bed, Tuesday morning pick up meds, Wednesday retail therapy, cash or credit, I say yes. Dumb lyrics. But I still think we should be allowed to enjoy those things, and I could have probably written a song about my pain or my trauma, but I didn't want to. I wanted to write a fun song, like girls just want to have fun. And I've seen comments too, they're like, how could she release this after the Barbie movie and all we've learned in feminism? Well, I love the song What Was I Made For from Barbie movie. That's like my favorite movie. But what about the song Pink that opens the movie, or Dance the Night Away? I feel like my song's more like those songs, and if a cis pop star came out with one of those songs, I don't think it would have had this negative of a response. People would have probably just said, oh, this is a really bad song, which, this is the most embarrassing part, I think, of all of this. I have been walking around my house in my bed like this. These are the days, hey, these are... I thought I had a hit on my hands. I was going, just wait. I said, just wait till they hear this one. And I'm like, yes, wait till they hear this one. It was really a song for myself. I might have really bad music taste. If there is anyone out here that does enjoy the song, let me know, because I still think I like it. But I will say, I think, to get to the point, over the past 2 years on this app, so much of what I put out there has been sort of towing this line of trans joy and humor and comedy and versus satire and parody. And I think we as a society is trying to figure out right now, like, what are trans people entitled to speak about or sing about when it comes to identity and womanhood or manhood? And why does it make us feel so uncomfortable when they do things that every other cis person is doing? And it makes me think of my day one video, actually, a lot. But I love you, and damn, Dylan, you really did that. You really made a song. You made a song, honey. I think we took ourselves in for the night. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. These are the days. These are the days. Oh, and one last thing, whether you love or hate the song, all of my profits from this music will be donated to the Trevor Project now through Pride Month, which is an incredible organization that provides crisis services to queer youth. So even when the transphobes stream the song, that money goes to queer kids. So yay, that's a win. All right, I love ya. Good night.
Musically made to be, just stereotypical, really trashy bubblegum pop from like the 2000s, hyper pop. And I feel like this kind of music genre is really popular in the community and the LGBTQ plus community. I feel like it's kind of like the norm, so I'm not really sure why people are getting mad about that. Not to mention, straight pop stars, women pop stars have always made songs like this. And this leading into the next I guess tweet, I don't know what the heck you call this now. Discourse around the Dylan Mulvaney song is so stupid because there are so many pop songs with the same themes and no one's clutching their pearls over them. Most of you don't even think about your womanhood this hard until a trans woman is involved, which I couldn't agree more, because it's like, how can you be okay with just like playing the ditzy, I'm just a girl eating my girl dinner because I didn't do my girl math right, or it makes sense to me because it's girl math. Like, it doesn't make sense that you only get mad when a trans person does it. You only get mad when someone from that community does something that they like to do, which is, in her case, music, making bad pop music. But still, like, it's kind of weird that you're only concerned with what womanhood means. If it's so serious to you what womanhood means, then like, why partake in these trends? Not saying that everyone who is criticizing Dylan of whatever the meaning of the song, but if you look at other people in pop music, Katy Perry, California Girls, she's talking about being a ditzy bimbo in California, kind of a stereotype in California that Californians, all they do is surf, be in bikinis, it's hot, at the beach, whatever. Is Katy Perry even from California? Anyways, she also has a song, I Kissed a Girl. No one said anything about that. It boils down to her experience of wanting to experiment with girls, but that's okay because she's expressing her sexuality in her experimentation. It's fine because she's not a trans woman. That's what everything feels like it boils down to, is just like people getting mad because they see someone that is trans enjoying themselves, lack of better word. Even Olivia Rodrigo has that song. What's that song? Oh my gosh. It's like, I'm happy all the time. American Bitch, right? All American Bitch, something like that. The point is, there are so many women, femme people in the music industry that have made music like this, and it feels like this is like completely out of proportion. Like, it's not that deep. You don't gotta listen to the song. The same way I don't have to partake in the I'm just a girl trend, fully bows, and that goes into like the coquette shit and whatever. It's just like people are just finding an excuse to be openly trans. I have seen so many disgusting comments on these posts on TikTok of straight women being like, I'm not afraid to say this as a straight woman. I feel like you should just be afraid to say that at all, because that really shows like your lack of humanity and your lack of empathy. But of course, we have people like this post that say, the problem with Dylan Mulvaney's song boils down to this: she's rich and white, so far removed from the reality of being a woman. Of course, we have that other aspect in which she is a rich white woman and doesn't have to experience the struggles of what POC women, femme, have to go through, like not being able to go to therapy, afford medication, get reproductive health, care, not being able to afford rent or food or going to school, being forced into turfdom, which I feel like, I guess that can apply to Dylan as well. But there, of course, everyone has different experiences, and her experience, like I've said from the very beginning of this video, is that it's going to be very different from mine, from my mom's, from you, from basically anyone. And that's why we're all different individuals and we share our experiences, and sometimes we do it in the form of music and art. So I don't know why this is so like shocking to people. It says, this song is so blatantly misogynistic. You are perpetuating stereotypes that women are just lazy, sex crazed, dumb, and just play men for fun. You are literally describing a stereotype of being a bimbo. This is not what being a girl is about. One person that came into my head, love her, Marina, formerly known as Marina and the Diamonds, Bubblegum Bitch. What's that other one? She's like, I'm a homewrecker. Can't remember. I'll put it here somewhere. How to be a heartbreaker. Like, I mean, it's like, it's been done before, and the people ate that shit up when it came out. Like, we consume it all the time. Doja Cat. It's just part of the pop culture, and I feel like a lot of them that do make this kind of music, that kind of, it's like kind of taking that quality back of men saying that, blondes are ditzy and dumb, like, it's kind of taking that back and just like, whatever, you're saying I'm this and this, and I'll show you I'm this and this kind of attitude. That's just what I think it's kind of like. But everyone's saying that it's misogynistic and she doesn't understand what it's like to be a woman. No, not every woman is popping pills. Obviously, it's not every, like, use your brain. Use your brain.
Your brain! Use your brain! Use your brain! The thing in your head, use it!
Because it's obviously not everyone. Okay, so it says, if there is legitimate argument to be made that Dylan Mulvaney's Girlhood song perpetuates misogynistic tropes, it can't be your only example. In the era of bimbo feminism and girl math, if your critique begins and ends with this one song, then yeah, you're just being turfy. And that's what I want to end this video on, because at the end of the day, it's just a song. It's just a song. You don't need to listen to it. She's on her corner of the internet. It's really sad that like it's 2024 and we're still having to do this kind of thing. There are so many trans people that are being killed literally every day, and most recently I saw a post that my mutual shared, and I'll link it in the description as well. It is because of this kind of rhetoric and this kind of mentality that is like able to flourish so well on the internet is why it becomes increasingly dangerous for trans people to even live. And I just think, in a serious note, like, if you're so offended by Dylan Mulvaney's existence in her truth, in her being of being a woman, and you don't resonate with that, I'm sure she doesn't resonate with some of the stuff that you've been going through, because every person is an individual, and looking at it like in a holistic kind of way sometimes can be detrimental to a group of people, you know. And I think it's important to understand that people are individuals and to base it on mostly on an individualistic basis, you know. And I just feel like people are taking it way too up the butt, way too seriously, because it's like, it's just music. It's just really an excuse for people to be blatantly transphobic. That's what I've seen from this. Like, you can dislike the song. I don't like the song. I don't like it. I usually don't like that kind of music. Some music that are like bimboistic. Is that a new word now? Bimboistic? Bimboish? Kind of thing kind of turned me off. You know, it's kind of like a cliche, especially when I thought of like Olivia Rodrigo, All American Bitch, you know, like kind of a cliche now. It's kind of done with every like kind of angsty femme pop person. Even with Gwen Stefani, like, I'm just a girl. I don't know how I missed that one, but she's not using the bimbo-ish aesthetic into that. She's actually calling out the things that she's gone through. Don't let her drive late around at night. What's my destiny? You know, it's just like asking all these questions and just being like playing into it. It was basically a song because about her dad and how her brother were like very overprotective of her and like treating her like she couldn't like do things by herself, which is what I've read what the song is about. And if you look at the lyrics in itself, she's not playing into like, haha, I'm so ditzy, blonde, whatever. You know what I mean? And that's why I love that song so much. And I feel like more femme people should try to put it into that context, because I can see how it's like misogynistic in the context of how Dylan Mulvaney's song is, but at the same time it's like, obviously that's not the intent to be misogynistic, like, at all. And if we're gonna call this misogynistic, call every other pop star singer who has talked about what it is, the experience of being a woman, the experience of being a girl, then call that out for misogyny too, because they've done and executed it in a very similar way, in a very similar manner. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm interested to see what people have to say about it, because it's just been a very polarizing topic, and you guys know how I like my polarizing topics. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Please refrain from any derogatory words. I will block and I will report you. Thank you. Okay, I'll see you guys next video, and thank you for watching. Bye.
Things say you didn't feel it when you kissed me. Why you got red cheeks then, huh? When you try so hard to be different, so stuck